Here we go, we are playing BDO. This is the Worker Empire guide. And open the map immediately. First of all, let's turn this on, production node information. We right click and move down so we zoom out with the mouse wheel. And here we go, here we are. This is the entire BDO map, or as far as I can zoom out. You can see how many nodes and how I decided to put my workers here. Everyone has different empires and different things going on. And you can check your workers tab up here. If you don't have workers, you can start by hiring them from the work manager from every city. I'm gonna speed run through the basic. You click on this, you reach the worker guy, you press R, you spend 5 energy, and you toll with it, and you get a worker of a random rarity tier. The first thing that you wanna do is get professional or artisan worker. Any kind of pieces is fine, I guess, when you begin. After that, you wanna decide what you wanna get. So I'm gonna get help from the Discord, life skill in Discord, to explain this first part. Basically, they changed the workers. Now you need to bring a worker up to level 10. And once a worker is level 10, there is a 50% chance to increase this rarity. So every worker goes up to level 30. So you have, every time it gets to 10 levels, so when it's level 10 you have one chance, when it's level 20 you have a second chance, when it's level 30 you have a third chance. And basically every time you have a chance to promote the worker. It lasts 8 hours, and if it goes well, your workers get promoted, and it's to the next year. So basically, I suggest you try to get at least all blue worker at the beginning, or if you like, either you have two options: all blue worker that you desire, or yellow and orange you get immediately if you drop them, if you are low energy. If you're above 260 energy, around those range, and you have like a couple characters, so you have like a total of 500 energy plus, or you have a lot of potions, or you have a clear idea in mind, you can like spam and lose a bit of energy on those. But I suggest you don't do that if you are early game. So first of all, you need like a grand total of like 1000 energy to start spamming and rerolling. If you don't have that, you want to focus on, either you focus on one city at a time, or you get blue tier and then you move on playing other parts of the game. I'm currently using goblins because they have the fastest work speed, but you can use whatever, like it doesn't really matter that much. Let's say this, I have a really cool ratio, but to show, but let's start talking about this. The higher the rank, the better the performance, but it also depends on how far the nodes is. Every worker also has skills. Once it's above level 30, you can reroll those using skill XP of the worker. But let's just, like, from a quick thing, here you can see average level 40 base stats and luck. And as you can see, this should be updated because they updated this tab with the new thingy. So yeah. Anyway, okay, let's start with the important things. Every city has a certain amount of lodging, so you can only hire so many workers in a single city. Let's give an example with Velia. I only have X amount of worker in Velia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you go in this website, you can find also in the live skill Discord, you click on Velia, it found 7 lodging. 1, 2, 3, and Toscani Farm 6, 1. So let's take a look. So if I go in Villa, I have 1, 2, 3 right here, and Toscani Farm should be here, and exactly this. So you have those workers, then you have one worker for free, so for every town. So that's basically, you find 7 lodging and 1 it's for free in every town. So keep that in mind. I cannot go above this, if not using the Pearl shop, and you can buy here with loyalty more lodging for Velia or more storage, but basically lodging for Velia right here. It's 3k loyalty, so it's not a small amount for new player. So just keep that in mind. You can expand this further, but I would suggest basing your empire in Velia based on 8 worker to begin with. You're not gonna go above that. You're gonna get resources from the nodes that you want for 8 nodes, and that's it. Important thing. Passes. Every pass in the game has 3 CP requirement. So if you wanna get a resource going through a pass, you need to invest 3 CP, and it's a lot. Let's say I don't have basically almost any pass in the game except this one, because this one I needed to get Glitch Ruins. Here I'm doing excavation, so from Glitch I decided to get this one, but aside from that I don't have any other pass, I think, in the game, in my empire. But you can do whatever. If you're doing like trading, you need to connect cities, you might need that, but you gotta keep in mind with the new transport feature that they added, cities don't need to be connected anymore if you pay the triple fee. So just keep that in mind while building your empire. So if you have completed the Magnus questline, I highly suggest that you can transport resources between cities, and you don't need basically you don't need the cities to be connected. You just pay more silver, and silver you can always get doing all sorts of activities in the game. Now let's say this. I'm gonna also read a really cool things that I'm gonna use, like different feature. This is like all of the things that you need to know. An important thing on this aspect when you want to select which kind of worker you want is basically the workload. So how close is a node? Say I'm gonna let's see if I have a node that it's almost done, so I can end it and show it to you. Okay, I don't see anything right now. Let's just use a potato node, I guess, or something that just started. Please, anything that just started. Not the excavation one. Maybe this one. No. Let's just use this one. Okay. I'm gonna lose like 50 minutes progress, but it's fine. So here's the workload of the node. It's 400. Here's the work speed. So if this number it's above, this is like, imagine this times 4. So it's reduced because of that, because it's above 100. There's gonna be the thing on the Discord as well. I'm gonna show it. And let's go here in the Discord to show it immediately, so you have a clear thing in mind. Just explaining the workload is probably the most difficult thing to begin with, and it's the thing that we need to do. See this post. See, this is Bracken. So this is 201 workload, and with 190, so 2 of the work speed doesn't make one of this, and it's 45, while this one is more than half, so it gets there in less time. This is general glimpse how it works. And basically that. Keep this in mind. So if you have goblins, they have the highest work speed, but you see they have different things, different skills. I personally don't do furniture. I just gather from nodes to sell or to craft or whatever I need. And you kind of need to focus on skills like luck or work speed, because the faster it gets there, the better. I mean, every time you get there, you have a chance to trigger luck, and you can also have certain luck for each level. Say this one, work speed, work speed, work speed, move speed, and move speed. This is a really good work at 134.7. It's a lot of work speed. Artisan, the luck is not the best, but we could improve it later on. So this is an amazing worker here in Velia, as you can see. I don't know, I don't remember when I put this one. I'm planning on get all artisan goblin, but I'm not saying that artisan goblin are the best. It depends on the workload of the node and how much luck you can trigger, because with lucks you also get bags based on the node. So you also get this kind of bags right here based on which nodes you have. This one for mining nodes, this one for excavation nodes, this one for mining nodes, and this one for farming nodes. Kind of move them around. When my workers will get level 40, I have the option to put the stuff that I gather from node wherever I want in my storages, and at that point I'm gonna start organizing them. So right now I can't, because I don't have all artisan workers, so there's no point for me to start organizing my storages. Rather like having enough space, because if you think you have 8 workers full-time in Velia, you gotta have storage for those 8 workers to have all of the resources, and like every kind of nodes has different things. Like if you place a node here, you get both of those things. Let's see, if you place a node here in potato, you only drop potato based on how much storage you have in the city. And yeah, that's that. What I kinda did with my empire is like when I began playing, made it self-sufficient getting all of the starch, because there are 3 types of things for cooking. You have starches that are potato. When I use the calculator here, starches are potato, corn, barley, sweet potato, and wheat. This one you cannot buy from NPC. The fruit and the vegetable you can buy from NPC. The bird meat you cannot buy this, except for chicken that you can get from nodes. And yeah, so basically initially I was going for like everything, following many guides. Many people said chicken is good, and I went for it. But then after a long while saving up CPs, I decided just to make beer and to remove my chicken nodes. So this is probably one of the, yeah, I had this one, and I removed it to save up CP to use it somewhere else, because the beer was enough for me, because I'm high level cooking, to feed my workers. Like if I do recover, you can see you can use family inventory. They use a lot. This is the green tier, but they also, every time I craft I get the blue tier because I'm high level cooking. So in my case, I just spend beer, but if you don't want to do that often, you can either like consider investing in chicken meat. Beer is probably the easiest one to get beer. You want to get all of the starches node, and those are here, Logia Farm, all of the places near Velia. You have a bunch of farming nodes, 2 corn nodes, potato nodes, and then here is also a really good place here in Northern Wind Plantation in Calphion, and there's also a really cool place here in Duvenkron. You have really good 4 nodes here, 2 farmlands here and 2 here with corn and barley. So those are really good for starches. And when you have starches, you can basically make let's say you can make vinegar, because with vinegar you need starch. That's like open up possibilities with cooking on top of beer. So So moving forward in cooking, you can either like use the starch to get the flour, use the flour to get the dough. So starch, it's a really important resource early on, unless you buy that. But buying starches on the market, it's very heavy, and your order don't fill really quickly unless you pay a lot of money. So I really suggest new Worker Empire to invest on starches early on, because the fruits and the vegetable, you can just buy them from Calphion. I do have my house here on top of the food vendor. You can type here in the search bar Milano Bellucci. Milano. And you will find exactly where to go. You click on it, you find exactly where to go to buy fruits. I have a fruit vendor, a residence, and a storage container right on top of it to move what I don't get from nodes anymore because I invested my nodes somewhere else. But basically, the gist of it is whatever you can buy from NPC, you maybe want to avoid putting in the nodes. I mean, early on, yes, if you're gonna need like the strawberry from here, like I use this a while. I use this a lot. Where is it? Old Wisdom 3. 1, 2. And there's like the Floretta here with strawberry. If you can't afford the strawberries to buy a lot of strawberry, I was buying a lot of this when I started. Then I removed it because I was just buying with NPC, selling my cooking boxes. Just very focused on CP. But if you have like billions, you don't need to worry about this because you can just buy fruits from NPC. And another thing, like here, we have sweet potato, really good because you get the trait tiers. You can also use in cooking recipes, right there. But yeah, now let's talk about nodes. Start with the farming nodes. Farming nodes, starches. You go for those anywhere in the map. The closest to the city. So let's talk about this thing really quickly. So you see this flag, this is Serendia. And this instead is Calphion. So Calphion. Yeah. Calphion territory. Balenos is Velia. Serendia is Hydel. So if a worker travels away from a region, so if a worker from Velia travels all the way to Idle to get from a node here, it takes more time to get there, just because it's in a different region. If it's in Balenos and needs to go all the way to Serendia, to move from here to here is not just a line on the map. It also takes more time because it's a different region. I have a clear example on how that works, looking at the Land of the Morning Light. I needed to put a Dokkaebi worker here on the Dokkaebi forest, and you can put it from the Dalbil village or from Nampos village. So you need to choose which one is faster and put the worker there. And surprisingly enough, the Dokkaebi forest, it's in this region, right here, in this area. So it's closer to get the worker from here than from here. Don't know why, don't know how, but two different blue tier worker, skilled, same first stats from here or here, it's always faster from here. So you kinda wanna check which storage is faster from which city. Same thing for here, the Ancient Stone Chamber. It's closer to Velia than Hydel, let's say. Even like, you have many things to consider, but based on the territory, you want to try to keep your worker in the territory they are on, because they will get faster to the node that node that you want to harvest. And that's, I've seen many worker guys, but I've never seen like anyone pointing this out. That's like really important. Anyway, so first of all, you check the lodging. Check my storage guide because of the lodging, and you need to know how many workers you can afford with your CPs before you decide which one you wanna put on the nodes. So let's say you have Hydel. Let's put a different example. We're gonna use Sangrain Bazaar as an example. Sangrain Bazaar, you have a limited amount of workers. There's nothing you can do there. You just have that amount, and unless you pay with loyalty, you have maximum 4 workers. You can check that here as well. Maybe I'm missing some. Pound 7. 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 1. Let me check. If I miss something. One 3, if you pick 1 3, you spend 4 CP there. And if you pick 3 1, you could get 3 1. So I could improve right here. I could go to a max of 7 right here. I'm not doing that right now, but I could. Let's say that. So 7, you can get, if you imagine just 2 here, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. I got this one, so it's 4. Imagine I get this one, it's 5. So we have like 2 left. I could put here and here. And then you imagine your storage and how you want to handle this. It's not for me, like I'm getting Hopal because right here it's really cool to have Hopal. You can't buy that from the market. But whatever. That's beside the point. Let's keep talking about workers. So, workload, work speed, distance, movement speed. And yeah, that's like the most important things to know. Now, some nodes are very difficult to get. If you want to get traces of that, let's say it's only available in Star's Hands. It's not available anywhere else, except if you open Sax that they added recently. It's a really expensive nodes to get to, like 12 CP or something like that. So based on an early game empire, I wouldn't go there. Because you could just put like a really fast worker here, English Ruins, and get Sax instead. That's another option, but it's very much closer. So yeah, this is like 1 hour to go there. It's probably like 10 hours to go to Star's End. And so like 10 travels here, you get like 1 in 10 times to get a Sax, and you get a chance to get like trace of that anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, taking that on, you also have fish nodes. Keep in mind that fish nodes are really slow. So if you want to set up your workers from Velia and get your fishing empire, keep in mind that fishes are slow to get. So it's like a long-term investment. If you want to get like fishes, you can. I would suggest buy fish nodes. Like first you explore the entire ocean, and then you like spend a value packet and you invest in the nodes using the energy. So you have to roam around, decide which one you want to get, and disconnect and stuff like that. Okay, now that I've said that, quick notes on what I've made. Like there are really cool investment right here near Valencia. Not every town has a free worker. This one you need to connect it. To connect this one you need to pay the CP for here, and then you have the storage and the free worker, but you need to connect it first. Right here I'm piling up def to cook, but yeah, that's how it works. It's like an entire area here, so I decided to get that. But keep in mind when you're doing your empire that not everywhere has the transport feature. So here I have a worker that they're gathering at the transport feature, while here in Harehaza you have the storage, you have the worker, the free worker, but you don't have the transport feature. So I had a worker here, I kinda removed it. I'm gonna put it somewhere else maybe in the future, but right now I wanna have my resources going here, like coconut, pistachio, and date palm, so I can like move them where I need them when I cook. Personally, I'm just really cooking recently for CP, so if you're doing like boxes or something else, you can still keep that in mind, that if you're like gathering, this is especially on gathering from resources, like reselling or whatever. If you're boxing stuff, move from a city, trade it to another city, you want like a different situation where you connect things. You gotta keep in mind that you need a certain amount of CP because the passes are expensive. That's it. And you are like not getting many things, like I don't know, it could be whatever. Like I'm getting honey, trace of death, really good nodes here. Really close, like when you see something like this, you see trace of death and honey right here. I think I said thing wrong. I thought trace of death was the only place here in Starzan. Maybe it was violence. Not sure. Anyway, you see, if you get trace of that here with that distance, and you can get it here in Eliton, they added recently the city, with less travel speed, this takes significantly less than what it would take to take this from Starzan. You can see it's piling up much faster than what it would from there. And yeah, consider that when you're building your empire. Now, for a quick note, my worker empire is not complete, but I'm gonna show it. So if you have like questions or tips, just let me know. But keep in mind that I'm not getting chicken meat because I don't wanna do anything with chicken meat personally. I don't make steam bird. I know steam bird is really good. I don't make it anymore. I just use beer. I just plenty, and I saved up the CP to get like important nodes, excavation. All the new excavation nodes in here. Let's say this one, Hemo Highland. That's a really good one. Trace of Memory. It's unavailable on the market. And it's 200k. 200k. 187 unavailable in the market. And I piled up like 15 recently. And I would rather have that having I don't know, a connection here, or just like any other node. Okay, we talked a bit about the farming nodes. Let's go to the forest nodes. So Spirit's Leaf. I think Spirit's Leaf and Saps are really good for alchemy. Don't quote me on the leaf, but I heard that they needed that for alchemy a lot. And I also heard that here, Bear Tree Ruins, like saps, any kind of sap node, it's good for alchemy. I have one there. I have many sap nodes, but I don't know where they are anymore. There's like one here probably. No, here. No, this is the other one. I tried to pile up every type of tree. As you can see, I have many. This is maple and ash for days. Cedar and fir. I kind of changed it recently. I had all of my logs in Calvin and I moved them to Idle. Idle is my central city, so kind of move everything here because of also the prices of moving stuff. And basically the best city between NPC. When you move around, the NPC distance between you and your house and storage, it's probably the closest one right here. I do love the design of Odraxia, let's say, but I would never live there. I initially had a lot more worker here. I had a grave node here as well when I started cooking initially. I piled up so much that I needed to remove some. And yeah, you have some worker from quest. Keep that in mind. And let's say Glitch, you have a free worker. Let's say you're just starting. You could put it here, Southern Swamp. You could get the mushroom immediately, just 1 CP or like 2 CP. It's not expensive, but you could use the free worker there. And people doing alchemy will use that. And yeah, you can also get, there is a quest to enlarge family inventory. You definitely want to do that, because I keep my beer in one slot and I keep the food for the pets in the second slot. So do that if you've not done that. Do the quest for the family. At least have two slots right there. You can also keep event item like I did. But yeah. So excavation nodes are good for like materials and stuff. I currently don't have many, but I could get them in the future. They are on in my empire. I have like this setup on Tarif, where I go all the way around here to the excavation node. and I try to buy the stuff I need on the way. Let's say this one, lava cave. I got the ruby node here. It's pretty good. It's pretty expensive though. I plan on getting this one from Iron Mine. I was gonna get this one, but all of the loot is cheap. There's probably two down there to check the prices on the market. But you also get sacks, so kinda need to get that one in the future. I have a free work in Altinova. Yeah. Also another thing, see here you have Pistachio, Elder Tree Sap. Pistachio is also really closer nodes like Valencia, so always prioritize where it's closer to the city. Like this one is definitely better than the other one. It's like, I don't know how long is this, but not much, not long compared to the other one that it's like, this one is one node, this one is like 3 nodes. Same thing for this one. You have Flux for 2 plus 2 CP, while right here you have Flux for 2 plus 1 or something like that, or 1 plus 1. So it's, yeah, you can see that Flux farming 1 in the production node information in that window, gray window right there. If you check here, Flux farming is 2 CP, so different nodes but different CP requirement. You don't need Flux, you don't get it, whatever, it's your choice. Pick what you need, resell what you want. Like you might not be interested at all in Citron, you don't want to get this. Whatever you want. Overall, starches you cannot get them from NPCs, so you gotta get them from nodes or your garden. Speaking of the garden, as you know, I really dislike the garden because it takes so much, and every update it breaks and you have to reposition it. At least it used to be that way, so I never placed it down. There's a really good spot in Velia. You can assign worker to gather from it, but then you have to go there eventually and replant, so that's annoying to me, so I'm not doing that. You might want to like look into guides with people with the garden. You can assign worker to the garden, but you can have like an old place there, always replanting. It's kind of annoying. I would do that just for knowledge, but I don't like the feature. I don't like how it's manually done, and you go for another guide if you want a different setup for that. Also, if you are specifically looking for like making boxes and transporting them, you might want to look like a different node setup. But yeah, aside from that, let's talk about like distance. If I want to get this one, like 3 setup and some extra loot right there. So this is the minimum investment, and on the way we have an excavation node, we have Maple and Salea, we have the excavation and Salea, so we have cheap nodes that we can spend working on. Idle has a bunch of workers, and yeah, Idle is very central, so it's probably the city where you wanna keep your characters here, either for like events, because most events are around here in Velia and Idle. So if you're starting your worker empire, either keep a character here and a character here and start like rerolling energy and making nodes here. When I began, I had those connected, and then I removed those. Whatever you need, you build for it basically. And yeah, keep plan. I have a free worker. Planning on assigning somewhere, maybe here, as you can see, coal and Powder of Rift. But you can see, same thing. You gotta buy the node, so it's 1, and then you gotta buy the coal, and it's another 1, so it's 2, and you only get coal. From Tarif, since I'm already going to excavation nodes, I have this one, but anyway, so think about going there, and then like, if you want to go there, you can either go this way or this way. But then you also have sweet potato here, so I wanted this one, so I decided to go here. So I also get opal from here, a really good node that I'm gonna invest in the future. So since I picked this route, I have the excavation nodes, I have the sweet potato, I have the opal, I have the coal here, but it also is gonna give me ruby for 3 CP. So instead of spending 1 CP there, I decided to do that here. It's about choices. Here you don't get anything, but as you can see, I'm not getting this from Heidel because it's a different region. It's faster from Tarif, I think. Don't quote me on that, this is pretty close. But I think I tested it's faster from Tarif. And or either I don't need to invest 3 CP here doing nothing. To have 3 CP here, I'd rather have 3 CP here standing on Lava Cave. So let's say I'm not using 3 CP here, I'm using 3 CP here instead. I just have to spend 2 CP for coal, as you can see down there. Coal, rift and ruby. So I'm investing 1 extra CP not spent here to get also ruby here. And access to opal in the future, that is 3. But you can see, like right now I have like around 400 CP, but we are going for 420, so I will have more. Like recently I spent a lot of time connecting all of the excavation nodes in the game except for Star's End, the one that I could access with my CP. Emo Island, Dokeby Forest, Bohem Wai Valley, those are the 3 in the new Land of Morning Light. And you also have good cooking nodes here. Sometimes you don't see them, you gotta turn the screen because I couldn't see this one initially. Yeah. And yeah, as you can see, Napa, radish and rice right here. So yeah, this is my node setup for this place. We also have cheap new nodes here like Cedar, Leaf. It's really close to this and you could spend CP here instead of the one that I had near Heidel. But the Heidel one is on the way, as you can see. The Cedar it's like right here from memory. No, yeah, as you can see I could remove Cedar from here and this too. There's like 2 CP and I could get the one there. I think I'm gonna end up getting both. So whatever, you pick what you choose. I personally kept this like this because I keep transferring fruits and veggies from Calcium to Idle. So that's the only other port, castle, I don't know, you can call it port. I think you can call it port gateway, something like that. That's the only other one that I spent contribution points on. I removed so many others. I recently bought this one because I'm moving towards the excavation points here. So one of the next steps is gonna be there. But yeah, that's beside the points. Another thing that I want to touch on is when you have a certain amount of workers on your city and you want to start re-rolling to get them faster, you want to like have like, let's talk about this in talking about Velia. It's probably the best ways to not digress. We go in Velia. As I said, we can only have 8 workers. You wanna start like doing the legendary tier up first to artisan, because doing that you always have the chance to reroll the skilled using energy if you keep a character there. So reroll your legendary to artisan first, and when you have like 1 left, you can just like bring it up to level and level it up last. Do this last basically, because here you can see the promotion chance. Under the stamina there is like a number with 2 bars. That's where you see how many times you can promote it. You also buy them from the market. They recently buffed the price. So as you can see, I have all of this. I'm gonna first do my legendary one. Most of them I also already done and they failed. This one I promoted recently, as you can see, or I got recently, and I don't remember if I bought you, I promoted, but as you can see, this one is the one that is gonna go up next to artisan, and this one is gonna stay here, because first you do the legendary to, I call it yellow legendary, it's professional. up to artisan, and then you do this one. Because yeah, that's just how you should do it. Keep in mind that you want one free storage space, one free lodging space to do that. That's why you can always like fire one and try to waste energy on it. If it fails, you can always have the blue tier one. Keep in mind that having one extra lodging compared on what you want in your setup is the best option. Like exactly what I did recently in St. Grain Bazaar, let's say. Here I still can hire a worker. I still need to reroll the worker tiers because my workers right there are not good. So let's go in St. Grain Bazaar to explain this. So I have like 3 professional and 1 of this. So if I wanna reroll this, I could either like try the promotion 3 times, or I could try to get the legendary with energy. To do that, I can just go there, invest temporarily 3 CP here, bind Harbor 2, invest 3 CP, spend all of my energy, and if I get it, I can then sell back. And because right now I'm not using more than 4 here. You know, I'm using those and that's it. I don't plan on getting more right now because my empire is not that big that I need to get more. So keep in mind that based on what you want, on the tiers of the worker that you want like lodging and CP to invest in the lodging to reroll with energy. That's basically all I wanted to say. I don't want to prolong myself. I could like keep going and saying more things because the workers are really difficult to handle. Based on how much loyalty you spend, you can even get more and not worry about it. But yeah, the promotion information takes 8 hours, so you want to do that anytime you can and start with your legendary. I have been playing since a while. Let's say this is the new situation in my new town. I have all blue and yellow, as you can see. Model village. It's all blue and yellow, and I already promoted an orange. That's in the excavation nodes, the one I need, basically. Planning on doing the orange one for the excavation nodes first, and that's it. But yeah, like why not invest in closer node? Like a really cool node for me, I would say early game, place a worker here as soon as you can, because there is a recipe for cinnamon stuff that requires cinnamon, and if you have a worker here but it's free from tariff, early on it's amazing because you can like get a bunch of teff from everywhere. You can get a bunch of pistachio, you can get a bunch of, I think you need teff, pistachio, and the other one is salt, and the 4th ingredient is cinnamon. But since you get a lot of the rest in the nodes, you don't get many cinnamon if not from here. I highly suggest investing in this one early on with the free worker from tariff. Like another cool important note I want to give for new nodes. Opal, pretty good for like crafting stuff. You cannot find opal in the market. It's one of the best nodes right here. Opal and teff right here, really good, really close to St. Grain Bazaar. Personally stretched on here to get date palm. Date palm, this is like optional, but I would like highly suggest to get the date palm here because it's 700 cooking SP and it's really close to Valencia. This is like one of the must get nodes. That's it. And you have multiple you have 2 date palm priority, like #1 priority almost when you have worker here in Valencia. Coconut, amazing for boxes, cooking boxes. Also get those 2. So get this early on if you can. It's gonna be difficult because storage in Valencia is always full of stuff that you get from the main quest line that you don't know if you wanna keep or not. Just move it away and start the workers there going. That's it. I'm not gonna prolong myself any longer. Speaking of skills, let's say the humans have more lax. You have extra type of worker like the Fadus, the Goblin, the Papu, and the Dwarf. I think the Dwarf are the fastest one and Um, Odraxia region. I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't remember the one on Garana and Old Wisdom Tree, because I basically got an artisan first try and never bother like changing it. Like that's my only worker here. It's artisan Fadus. I think it's doing good. I don't know. I never bother changing it, so I don't know which one is the other type. But I know that the dwarfs in the Draxia are the fastest one. So if you can get the dwarfs, if you want the fastest one, if you want the luckiest one, get the humans. Keep in mind that the giant and the slow class one, they have an extra. Let's take it like this. If you want to deal with RNG, you just get giants and you open with RNG. You don't want to deal with RNG, you want to just go with work speed and maximize work speed and workload. Probably get fast class. But it always depends on the workloads, keep that in mind. It's not I'm gonna read a thing that my guildmate sent. It's also wanted to read that. So it said 150 workloads nodes, goblin 1 tick, giants 2 tick, goblin 100% faster. So the extra 68.5% guild passive for giants is not enough to make them better. Goblin wins. 200 workload nodes, goblin 2 ticks, giant 2 ticks. They're the same speed here, however giants passive put them higher because of higher healed, giant wins. 300 workload nodes, goblin 2 ticks, giants 3 ticks. Goblins are 50% faster, which is still less than the 68.4% bonus giant gets. However, since it's close, pay attention to the distance of the node. Distance determines who wins. So it goes insane basically. Like really just keep an eye on the workload and on the work speed. 400 workload nodes, goblin 3 ticks, giant 4 ticks, goblin 33% faster, which is a lot less than the 68.4% bonus giants gets. Giants win. I hope it makes sense. This is what my guildmate says, and he said that he read that from here and the patch notes. But yeah, if you want to dig any further, you could just go here and ask. A lot of people are testing. It's like a working in progress thing. Yeah, I don't know much about packing, but you can read this. But yeah, overall, we're done. Goodbye. I hope you're more I know you're more confused than when you started, but now you know what to avoid if you want a specific thing. That's it. Let's say you wanna. Oh, let's touch on this. You can assign worker here to the. Let's say you wanna make utensil. You can assign worker, and depending on the worker skill, it takes less time. Let's say that you can make tools, utensils, and stuff. Worth mentioning this. You can make cannonballs used for bosses, whatever. Yep. Ending this guide here. Questions? Put them down below. Goodbye. I hope I showed everything here in the map, for my nodes. And yeah, will change a lot as I get more CP. Bye.